Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you for inviting. Actually, it feels like home, like house shoes and good coffee and nice people. Well, I'm going to talk mostly about Maya and Mar's practice. So we are artist duo. So Mar is not here because he's in Madrid doing artist residency. So we divide sometimes each other, and I am from here, like Estonia, not from Tallinn, South Estonia, but well, as you know, everyone ends up in Tallinn at some point. And Mar is from Barcelona, and we both have let's say, interdisciplinary background because I started my educational career from technology, like, let's say, IT, and then I moved to creative field and then into art. So recently, for instance, graduated from doctoral school of Estonian Art Academy, and Mar did the other way around. So he started from art design and then moved to game development and also programming and so on, realizing actually how creative and powerful can be technology. And actually you can realize, let's say, if you are painting what you are imagining. But actually, well, there would be also one video about us. Actually, we are also like imagining a lot of things in our head, but we use just other tools as brush or pencil, which for us works much better. So if you ask, actually, okay, you are an artist, but how you survive as an artist? Well, I don't have my day job is being an artist, and this is already actually quite surreal thing, because you are constantly have to think like how to combine your incomes and how to survive and how to present your work and so on. So for us also it didn't happen like one morning that, okay, let's become an artist. We a bit like planned this. So we used to live in Austria, and we both had part-time jobs. Like I was working in art university and Mar was working in Ars Electronica. It's one of the biggest museums for art and technology. And then we thought, since we were still like young and maybe very dear to do new things, so we decided let's survive from art. And then we looked at, well, then we have to have really little expenses in order if you have little income. So we decided let's just quit our home. So we were for 3 years, we were nomad artists traveling from one residency to another residency. So we did like all over the world, I think 13 or 15 residencies, just creating, living there and making contacts. And yeah, and then at one point we said like, okay, it's enough, because also we were creating a lot and where to put all this stuff. So we decided to move to Tallinn. Well, for me, it was moving back. For Mar, was totally like new discovery. And now we have a studio already for 5 years in Ars, 4 years in Ars building. So if some of you doesn't know what it is, please come to visit us. It's in Pernomante, so this is our studio. It looks chaotic, but things, maybe creative things happens maybe in chaos. At least for us happens. So, in order that you also get a glimpse what we are, I would like to show a video what actually Google produced for us when we were collaborating with them, and yeah, I think it summarizes really well our practice. We use technology and code as artistic material. It's the same like a sculptor has clay. It's kind of this invisible thing, what is super powerful actually.
Recently we had this term that we are inventors. We have crazy ideas that require that we create tools that don't exist before.
I think how we started to work together was that we were making our ideas more complete. Sometimes I get certain inspiration, but it's not complete, it's very raw, and then we kind of start to shape it together. Definitely we have different set of skills. For instance, I am very into electronics and kind of soldering, but at the same time I also like philosophical approach. And Mar, for instance, he's a programming genius.
I really love code. I feel that code is like crafts, that if you don't do for one day, then the next day you are not agile. In code is done actually everything, because code is the soul of the machines.
Collaboration allows us to have another perspective on our practice, what we are doing.
We're using a lot of brain interfaces, different kinds. This is called neurofabrication, to just create things right away from your mind.
Through collaboration, actually, you open yourself and you also open to a new audience and maybe even new fields. For us, in dev art, like first time we will use speech as an interaction method.
The whole idea is that the flow of interaction is magical. You just speak a wish and will go into the system and magically will appear a butterfly.
Well, it's like kind of metamorphosis of wish.
Okay. Well, this was, yeah. Is it the video? No. So this was a kind of a short clip about us, and we were. Now it's YouTube or not? I don't understand now. Ah, yes. Some is building. Okay, because sometimes YouTube puts another video. I don't know what's. Yeah, we were for 2014. Google commissioned us and Barbican Museum in London to do a work, which a new artwork, which was Wishing Wall. And also here, like how we work is we are not afraid, like of engaging with the new technology and really going far with it, and really often actually hiding it in order to create for the audience a magical experience. So we work a lot with interactive art, doing interactive installations, but not only. So in the beginning, I introduced you these ones. And Wishing Wall, I mean, it's actually it's very romantic idea, because it was born together when our daughter was born. And for us, the world was really a nice place and happy place. And we started to think, like, what happens actually with our wishes when we have different traditions, and sometimes we throw a coin in the fontaine or blow the candle. Wait, I put. Oops, not. Sorry. I mixed up here some things. Yeah. So we were thinking, yeah, but what about this all wishes made? Because they are just like kind of, they disappear. There is no visual manifestation. And what Wishing Wall is doing is collecting our wishes. You are 3 cones. They are waiting for a wish. And when beholder comes closer and says loud the wish, then the wish gets written into the digital wall, which is actually a back projection, and it turns into cocoon, and you are able to approach cocoon. Then the butterfly for a second can land on your hand, and then it. Here is the process, yeah, coming, and then it joins the other butterflies in the wishing wall, which is actually in the end all the butterflies are made wishes by the people, and we also analyze wishes based on Plutchnik emotional theory with a color wheel, and by analyzing the wish, we then pick the color for the system picks the color for the butterfly. Yeah, some people they say very beautiful work. But yeah, is there a kind of like more like poetical value and so on. But it's everything. It depends how you look at the thing. I mean, in West Europe, yes, people were mostly wishing for money. And this is actually a sad thing. And later on, we also address this. But when we were exhibiting in Turkey, like Kurdish minority, they were wishing for peace, for instance. So it's some people were taking like really kind of as an opportunity to make real wishes. And as I told you before, since we were very affected that people were wishing a lot for money, so our next project is quite recent. It's called Wishing Well, where actually you have to throw then the coin into the well what we created, and then gets again born the butterfly. Okay, here we can put a bit of. This was in Rapla, in frames of EV100. Butterflies are not the video, it's a real-time generated image. So they are behind actually quite a lot of technology. And in order to create this kind of magical experience, actually everything has to function super perfectly, because as soon something is not functioning, maybe the door of where the coin has to drop into the well, then this magic cycle is broken, and then people realize that, well, things doesn't work, and then they start to doubt in their wish, and then they understand that butterflies maybe are not the real ones, but if everything works, really people think that they're real butterflies, and they get really emotional, and we feel, I don't know, it's difficult to kind of forward this experience. That's why I think it's also the nowadays the problem is this gap or distance between mind and the body, that we think that we understand the experience, but actually when our body makes through this interaction and experience, then it's actually you understand much more of the experience. So we work quite a lot with this topics, and also to give something new experience and maybe a light in our gray day, but also through interaction we are addressing critical topics, like for instance binoculars to, binoculars from. We are trying to show to the ones who are observed the observer. So when you are looking into the binoculars, which are inspired by the touristic one, which you throw the coin and in front of you opens the splendid view. Here you don't have to throw the coin, but instead of this, you see actually certain places. And you can, by pushing the button, you can switch the city and you can observe the people. But as a trade-off, there is a camera inside which also shows in the place which is observed also the observer. So we have this kind of play of surveillance, which is actually, of course, as we know, that our like urban streets are super surveilled, and there are like an excessive amount of CCTV cameras. But also it's, as always, like one thing is what happens in like our heads as an artist, that okay, we want to create this kind of work, but then if it's interactive or participative, come the audience and hack your work because they like to get some other experience. So what first of all, we were thinking that we are not going to show this place where you are, but it turned out that people like the most look themselves, so it became very like a narcissistic marathon, because people were looking in and making faces in order to see in the big projection where all the city can see, like their eyes or the tongues and so on. I mean, but of course, they were looking also other places and understanding the concept, but they really like to engage in a very like stupid way, or I don't know, funny way or whatever. I mean, you know, people like to look themselves and so on. So I think at home you can look yourself the video. If you are very interested, you can find in our website. But this was produced in 2013 in the frames of Connected Cities, and it was a moment for 1 week or so. It was simultaneously, we interconnected 7 cities. So it was all around Europe and also in Australia. So do you think what we used? Skype? No. We had to build our own streaming system, and this is a backstage. We are monitoring, are the cameras and our streams up? Because the thing is, in the end, we were just 2. So we couldn't be like, we couldn't clone ourselves and send to 7 cities. So we were like doing step by step. Of course, we had to separate again. And then we were online able to monitor all the streams and cameras and restart our servers if needed. So as I told already, Mar is from Catalonia, and someone knows what it is? Yeah, Castells, yeah. So in Catalonia, people are so crazy that they are building these human towers, and they are really, really tall sometimes, and I always have been like wondering like how they do it. I mean, it's impossible, like wanting to be there, but also not really, because it's better to be in a safe side, maybe in the digital side. So what we were doing, and also like, again, we are working with this cultural phenomena, because if we would do it in Estonia, probably people won't really understand what we are doing, but there people were really like happy to participate, because we were building the highest human tower. And this is a bit process in our old studio. Of course, when idea starts, we always say, oh, this is so easy, we can just use this and this technology and we just do it. But then as soon as you start to, probably most of you here knows, wait, I put a bit less. As soon as you start to work with all this technology, they describe one thing, but when you start to do kind of really like on the edge thing, then it really often fails, and you have to kind of trick it and, I don't know, maybe develop new libraries and so on. So, but what here was happening that, yeah, here it comes out. So everyone could participate in the tower, what we were building in Barcelona. We had the model of 3D model of Barcelona, and everyone who participated there, they are jumping out from down, and then also they got a ticket that they could go to the highesthumantower.com. Don't go now, it's down, because we don't exhibit. And we got the record. It was 4.5 kilometers. So it was actually so high that our FreeGS app was crashing when you were scrolling, like wanting to go scroll too much. So yeah, it was quite fun project to build actually this tower. And as you see, they're coming serious people, and they kind of remember their childhood, I think so, or they get totally different experience from being, let's say, in the museum, and kind of pushing the limits of like what is in reality possible, and who I am, and what I can do, and so on. So it's a bit like rethinking the whole borders and structures and systems, and also the norms we have. And we kind of have really coded in our brains that it has to be like we always do, you know. But why? who told this. And Smile is also this that we are trying to change kind of local people mindset. And since this was inspiration more by Mar, because for me it's kind of like normality. I even don't notice it, but as I think you all know, November, December in Estonia, that it's very dark and people don't smile, maybe except Creative Mornings. So Mar was saying, like, what is happening with people? It's so gray, so dark, and everyone is like super sad. Like, what we should do it about this? And at the same time, we were contacted also by Elo Leaf asking if we want to do something for Tallinn Winter Festival with light. And then we said, yeah, we want to do Smile. And this Smile, this was a huge smiley down the parliament, actually, in Tallinn. And it were going on only if someone was smiling. Yes, you had to smile because we had face detection algorithm, so or at least to show the teeth, so to say. And yeah, some people, yeah. And actually it really worked because someone was smiling, but others maybe even laughing of other, but still you are getting the positive energy, even not really understanding. So it was quite good exercise, and we received also a feedback that it should be permanent, that people can come and do this happiness therapy. But we have also shown this in Calgary and in France. And all the time we get these happiness clubs like coming and saying like, yes, this is the right thing. And in Calgary, in Canada, we had even one author coming who wrote the happiness book and saying that this is like perfect for the people. So without knowing, we did something super perfect. So yeah, here and it really works like with old and young children. Like Nora here she was 2, and she immediately got it. I mean, I think there is really I know it's old story, digital natives and not, but yeah, she is really digital natives because I didn't need to. Most of our interactive things I don't need to explain her. She gets like on the fly. But to show you other things, that we are not only doing funny interactive things, we also do a bit more conceptual works, and Rhythm of City is quite old work, but we keep showing it and developing. There are 10 metronomes which are ticking in the digital rhythm of each city. We select different ones, and as inspiration we took Borston and Borston statistical theory, where they found then in the 70s a positive correlation between the speed of pedestrian and the size of the city. It means bigger city, faster move the people. So we can also see, maybe if you compare Tallinn and Põlva, for instance, in Põlva people have much more time. And then we thought how we translate actually to nowadays, because, well, you cannot really, like, you can observe now Telliskivi, it's totally dead, but people are in the offices working and they are tweeting and so on. So we took geolocated social data, which in 2010 was really like, it was just coming, you know. And we took Twitter, Flickr, YouTube, and then we expanded also into Instagram and Foursquare. And by setting the location every minute, we are taking the new content and composing the rhythm of the metronomes. You say, oh, is it the rhythm of city? Yeah, are you sure? Well, the scientists are sure, because they are showing that by just observing the tweets, they know which time of the day we are. So they can already say like what time most of the people wake up. When they wake up, brush their teeth, get their coffee, automatically they start to tweet. So when they get to the homework, they tweet even more, and so on. And also the big difference is actually between the weekdays and the weekends, of course. So we tweet even more and later and so on. So yeah, technical people, if you are interested how we hacked the Metronome, here is software part and also the physical part. So we always kind of mix the physical and the digital. That's, I think, where the magic happens, because normally people say like, oh, but these are the metronomes ticking. Yeah, but the metronomes in my rhythm ticking. So they are not ticking in their rhythm. So we are really controlling by my rhythm, the post-participative rhythm, which comes from the social media. And we also did, this is São Paulo, the Paulista, the biggest avenue. And one curator asked us, do you want to do something here in Facade? I said, yeah, this is a metronome, no? It's like triangle total. They have this media skin on the building, and we built the hugest metronome, I think, in our life. But it was cool in a way, because this is totally like two theories together, no? It's like Paulista, where the Boston and Boston would observe actually the street, because they are super busy, and really shows the fluctuation of the urban street and life, and also actually then the digital layer, no? Which normally is invisible, and we often even don't think about this unless we show. I think with the Twitter didn't happen anymore, but in the beginning it was really often like this mark that Twitter was down because there were too many tweets. I mean, then we realized, okay, something is happening. Okay, here is also a backstage, because in the end, I think maybe for someone it's interesting. It's very strange shape of the building in the physical space. But in order to do something meaningful, you have to also recreate this in the digital space. It's really tiny because the resolution is really, really small. So it was really kind of strange size screen in the end, which has to be captured. And as you have noticed, metronomes are our obsession. And also we have a work called Speed of Markets, where 7 metronomes ticking in the speed of stock exchanges. And yes, it's almost real-time data, because we were getting data from Bloomberg. And it was also very nice experience collaborating with them. Probably I think they collaborated with us because we asked something what motivated their developers to do, because it was totally out of the norms they are doing normally, because we were asking the volumes. We were interested how much transactions are made in the stock exchange. And this is again like live installation in a way. The artwork follows the rhythm or the life of reality, because as soon as the stock exchange opens, then the metronomes start to tick into the rhythm of the transactions. More transactions, it more ticks. And when it closes, then it just closes. So in the weekend, sometimes it was exhibited in New York in Museum of Art and Design. And on the weekend, some audience were saying like, but this artwork is not working. I was like, yeah, stock exchange is closed, so it's not working. And also it was in the exhibition it was called Tempo of Labor and Work, because in the stock exchange, if we have seen these old movies where there are the brokers like shouting on the phone and so on. Nowadays, no one is shouting. I mean, they are just machines. And this is also interesting. It creates other paradigms in this field and problems. But definitely, here you can see also the backstage that we created, the form and the electronics and so on. So it's all the time like big process actually of development. But talking about the labor and machine, and the robot and the relationship in the labor market, then these two works are kind of related because it's the same way when the metronomes are marking the tempo, which is set by the machine. Actually, here also we were exhibiting in Science Gallery, Dublin, which was exhibition about the situation. Actually, it was human, not apply. And we were very inspired by this curatorial statement, and we decided to do a 3D printed robotic hand, which is actually open source. You can actually also, if you are good enough, build your own robot. But we decided to take only a hand and heavily modify it. So again, we thought, oh, that's easy. And then we are there like half a year, like modifying and reprinting and so on. But our idea and what we did, we took over, our robotic hand took over the job of gallery assistant, who is normally there like counting the people. So this hand is counting the people instead. So there were no gallery assistant, so instead was our artwork. And if you are interested to see, you can see it in the Estonian Design Museum in Laitanaf. It's exhibited in the exhibition of Objects of Attention, curated by Francisco Martinez. So I recommend, if you are interested, to see in action this work. And do we still have time? Or yeah, yeah, 5 minutes. Okay. This is not last one, but still, this work you can also see in Estonian History Museum in Marjamäe as a last room, which called EV1000, which I thought, like when they contacted us, I thought they mistaked with 10, but it wasn't mistake. It is their intention, like to show also the future in the exhibition of history, and they asked us, can you see what Estonia will look in 900 years? I said, yeah, sure, why not? And of course, we had to imagine and so on. So someone knows where it is? Yeah? No? More coffee? No? Okay, this is actually Keila. Yes. But Keila, how actually machine is dreaming about this. AI, everyone knows what is AI, yeah. This is like new hot topic, of course. So we used, here is the kind of from this. Actually, it's really beautiful now. I suggest you to go and see in the real life. It's just 30 kilometers from here, something like this. So we were filming the landscape of not Estonia, but certain regions, because we didn't have so much time. But basically, which people could kind of relate to and recognize. And we used, again, our idea was that since it is VR, like virtual reality piece, we were thinking like it should be perfect image, because when you in your VR headset you're looking around. We have nowadays so experienced audience, because first thing what they are looking, if they see that it's a video, where is the camera, how it's filmed. So we thought like we want to have a perfect image, and for this we realized, okay, let's use a drone. This is a Mavic Pro drone. And then we attached two 360 cameras, which we then in the post-production were able to cut out the drone. And actually with the drone project, it was really funny how we work. Normally let's say budgets are small, and it means production time is also small. We cannot do the same tasks together, so we divide the tasks, and we do the concept, and then we divide the tasks. And my task was to fly the drone. And by looking at all these YouTube videos, I realized it's very masculine field. Only guys are flying the drones, I didn't find any tutorial that the girl would explain, It's only guys, like, it's their toy. But then, I was thinking I should do some tutorials just for fun, to say that, girls fly also a drone. Yeah. It was quite fun experience because there was more. Yeah, I won't show you the video. You know how the drone flies. But our idea was to fly quite low, and it was difficult because there were a lot of snow, and the camera, like sensors, they don't work when they see white. And also we wanted to fly low, and yeah, the forest is really no-go, but we had to go, and yeah. But we produced in the end. So we made many recordings. We did our video, which is almost 10 minutes long. And then our 2 Titan computers were rendering, I think, for 1 month or something. Then this neuronal landscapes, which then all this video was as machine would dream about these landscapes, like how it hallucinates, how. And our idea was, well, in after 900 years, we won't need anymore our eyes. We will have machine for us seeing and sensing everything. And this was kind of like, yeah, it's quite maybe utopic or dystopic, well, who knows, actually, work. But you could see it also if you are interested. And as a last work, also a bit like a surrealistic, realistic project, which is as in the end, I don't know. Nowadays is, yes, I don't know. Maybe I am speculating, but things what you think it's totally a joke or not real, they become actually the reality. So with a data shop, we also tried to stretch kind of the borders or the norms of business, maybe. So as you know, using digital media, basically, personal data is actually not your personal data anymore, because it is sold, it is exchanged, traded, and so on. So it's not yours, and many companies are just doing a lot of profit on this without us knowing, or us knowing but cannot do any other choice. So it's just like either you are part or you are out, but the fact is, to be out is really difficult. And we thought, like, well, why we don't get any profit on this? We want to also to participate in this economical system. And we opened our shop. It's called the Data Shop, and we have downloaded our personal data from various sources. For instance, we have products as Data Salad. This is Visa data. Then Data Spam is data from Google Takeout. And Data Soup is data from Facebook. And we also recently have expanded our production. So we have data beans from Fitbit and data sardines from Estonian ID card data. So what we are doing, so we are downloading our data and storing in the USB stick. We have also one 24-hour surveillance data where we were surveilling ourselves with a camera. And then also one is a blank label. So it's actually we do with the people workshops. Actually, if you are interested to participate, I think it's on the 16th of February in the Design Museum. It's a Sunday. Yeah. And, well, of course, the cans are not a random choice in the art history. You know, Mazzoni and also Warhol. Mazzoni was canning his shit, so we are canning our digital shit, and saying it's our DNA inside. It is. And also, if someone wants to get a can, we are doing a contract with the new owner of this product, saying that if you open the can, you destroy an artwork. So here's a question, which has more value, the data inside or the artwork? And if you choose to destroy the artwork, meaning the opening the can, then the data inside is only for one's personal use, so you are not allowed to show anyone else, to distribute, to lose it, or to copy it, or to sell it, and you have to destroy it afterwards. Yeah. And, well, if you didn't have enough of me, you can also visit our exhibition called Chameleon in the City Gallery. It's in the Harju Street, right next to the Freedom Square. It's open until this Sunday, and I will do also an artist tour at 5:30 on Sunday, and there are also workshops for kids if you want to bring some. Yes, I think I am on time, no? Cool. I didn't plan so well. Thank you.
So we have about 15 minutes for 15 minutes for questions. Please raise your hands, and I will come to you with microphone. You have some time to think. Okay.
Thank you very much for your talk. From the works that you showed to us, it's looks like you find how we give up our privacy for convenience, like in the modern society, as one of the most surreal things about the modern state of it. What do you think are other surreal things, and do you have any artworks about them, or maybe you intend to?
Yeah, good and difficult question. Well, yes, we have quite a lot of works about privacy, which is also we address in one exhibition. It's called Surveillance Capitalism. So mostly like that's surreal is kind of like, let's say, it's very subjective term in a way. So for someone is real, for other one is surreal. So I would say yes, we are political wise. We are addressing this actually reality by all this surveilling data policies and so on. So doing very maybe dear and not very realistic projects, but also by delivering these experiences which are not really be there without our works. But now, recently we are working actually with a new project. It's called Plastic Land. And we are working with artificial intelligence and neural networks. So this is also a very interesting field for us at the moment. And I think it's quite important that artists are working with it, because in a way, what the neural networks are producing, the machine is producing something what never have been seen. So it's totally like artificial images, and our idea is to bring actually together to train the algorithm with the landscapes and the rubbish, and what will be kind of possible future, because people prefer not to think about this because they don't really see so much kind of rubbish problem around us. Because but some places like Fiji Islands, for instance, they are facing real problem of rubbish because they cannot recycle, they cannot get it out. So yeah, this is a recent maybe surreal real project. Yeah, but thanks for asking.
More ideas to ask? Oh, okay, sorry.
Aita. So you mentioned that you quite often need to, or at least sometimes you need to develop your own libraries to make your projects. Do you release them? Do you release them to open source?
Yeah, we are mostly releasing all in open source in GitHub, and we also do open hardware and open design. For instance, circular knitting. And knitting also, well, we are doing a lot of knitting, and we are kind of not promoting the soft digital fabrication also. So yes, because I think it's our duty, because we mostly also draw from and profit from open source community. And the same with AI now also, thanks to open source, it's possible to research more and more. So yeah, we do as much as possible.
Okay.
Hello. I have a question about neural network landscape. Did you make a picture of or a full video?
We ask again.
Did you make a one picture or the whole 360 video?
It was 360 videos, which were then matched together and post-produced as a one video, and then we had to take frame by frame and then apply deep dream algorithm to each image, so to say, and then put back as a video. So it's a video.
Really cool.
Okay, more.
So it's actually panoramic, not maybe the three-dimensional upwards.
Well, yeah, you
downwards.
have to join it together. In the end, it's VR. If you are very careful, you can see the joint. Yeah.
Yeah, the combination of two 180 degree of it, so it creates 360, isn't it? Because aerial cameras. Okay.
So.
Sorry, more questions? Because I also have one. As we've seen, you have lots of, many of your works are integrational. Why do you think?
What do you mean integrational?
I mean that you integrate the audience, that you work a lot with the audience. What do you think? What is the role of? I don't know if it's called integration, interactive. Yes, sorry, integration.
It can be also integration. Why not?
What do you think about the role of interactive art nowadays? Is it bringing people more to think, or it's more about having fun?
Yeah, well, it's a good question, actually. I am in my PhD thesis, I am writing about the disappearance of active participant. And as an artist, it's more and more difficult to do this, because if we look at 90s, it was totally kind of revolutionary thinking that suddenly the audience can manipulate digital artwork, like you and your body is actually kind of doing something with real-time generative image on the projection. Then nowadays it's not anymore let's say easy or straightforward, because also the commercial scene, they saw this potential, because people get really much amazed, involved, and they get their personal memory about this. So they saw a lot of value. And actually you can also see that many commercial companies, they just without any ethics copy existing interactive artworks. Some they collaborate, so I really urge this approach. And then nowadays is basically artists have to be much more conceptual, but also technology allows to be more conceptual, because if we look pioneer interactive artist Myron Kruger, he was developing all the technology, you know. Nowadays you don't have to, well, still you have to develop certain technology, but it's there, so it allows more time on contemplating about the concept and so on. And also in art, there was in the beginning of 90s and 2000 maybe, the curating was more based on medium, and now I see actually there are more like not so many exhibitions which are directed only for new media, for instance. Actually, it brings together the concept, and then there are various works. So and audience is also much more critical. So not anymore. It's kind of the wonder phenomena, like, oh wow, I can do it, because they have like Kinect at home and new Nintendo and so on. So they have touch screens and so on, and kids understand. So I think bringing, let's say, interesting concepts and memories, and also like cultural aspects. This what maybe creates new scenarios, and also maybe realization of certain things. I mean, I didn't show like all the works, but for instance, some is also a few years ago. It's called Shopping in 1 Minute, where actually I can show you also the picture. So in a way, we are also sometimes. Okay, I lost my. I lost the key. Okay, now it's back. So very often we also deal with media archaeology, because although certain technology is not used anymore, but we still have memory about this. And bringing this together adds totally kind of new experience, because people recognize. Okay, so this is really old. So let's see. Where it is? Yeah, one is popcorn. Yes, Shopping in 1 Minute. So you can see from here. So we use the shopping cart. Oh. We built. Let's see. Yeah. We built this arcade also. Well, we wanted to also have this arcade game aesthetics. And here are, in the shopping cart, there are inside all this empty Tupperwares with a barcode. And the interface actually is really simple. It's only time and score. And as soon as you scan one product, the time starts to tick. And you have to scan as much as possible. And then you get out your like shopping list. I mean, it's very fun for people. People were really like competing, but also it's a critical one, like about the consumerism. So there are all I think for us at least, it's really interesting to bring together these two aspects. It's like really invites you to participate, but also invites you to reflect and think about this. And I like to engage also the body, because I think this connection will, like also one Italian philosopher is talking about the conflict of mind and body. We are so disconnected from this. We think we can everything grasp with our mind, but can we? So yeah, that's why. But not in all works we engage people. So, but really often we like maybe critical, and also what looks simple, maybe interaction. And also working with all kind of layers of participation. Like I am also discussing, like in my book, post-participation. What happens if you totally don't know, or you don't have control of your engagement in the artwork? So yeah, this is kind of our philosophy behind this.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. It would be nice to have them in our shopping centers for self-service competition.
Yeah, actually, it was in Lasnamäe Centrum during the Lasnamäe festival. I think the Finnish Institute was doing in 2013 or 14. People were like, but it's kind of, I like this new playgrounds for me, let's just say, because people go to shops for shopping, and they don't think that some conceptual artwork will be there. So they were like really asking, like, why you are doing this, you know? And but yeah, at the same time they also ask in the gallery, like, what is the point? I mean, it's. But then I say, like, you know, you have to think. Now you have to think. I have done my thinking, you know. Yeah. So to trigger to think, this is the most important, actually.
Okay, Varvara, thank you. I think we should already wrap up, and it's time to go to work.
Okay, thanks.